Hello, beautiful being. Welcome to In Her Dreams and welcome to your reading. I am so grateful that you're taking time to tune in to see what messages are flowing in from Spirit for you. Ashe. Thank you, Divine. All right, let's go ahead and get a message for the overall energy of your reading. Thank you, Spirit. What's coming through for this beautiful being? All right, we've got storm warning, contract, and magician, and the mirror. There's something regarding a legal situation or something involving justice, okay? For some of you, it's specifically a legal situation, a court case. For some of you, it's spiritual law, okay? But it's about making things right. And things are being made right for you. There is someone who's trying to use dark energy in order to influence their karma. And for some of you, this is a person who's trying to use dark energy to influence the outcome of a court case. Okay? So in any case, it's spiritual. All right? But for some of you, this is specifically where a person is trying to get out of their karma. All right? Because they are facing a storm. This storm warning here is not for you. This is because someone else is up a creek. They know that they are experiencing the repercussions that they have earned. And it's bad. It's very bad. They've put some really bad energy out there into the universe. And so that's what they're getting. Tenfold, 100-fold. The universe is making something right here. Because a person signed a contract. Spiritually. With energies that they had no business playing with. And yes, that's what's coming through, that they were playing with certain energies in order to get a certain outcome. And for some of you, this person is still doing this. They're trying to influence the justice system, whether this is in the physical realm, trying to get a certain outcome with a court case, trying to avoid doing time. It's useless. This person will pay for what they've done. They will have to make right what they've done. So this magician in the mirror, this is a person who's worked with chaos magic, but they're having to face themselves in the mirror. They have been manipulating so many timelines, so much energy. They thought they were doing this at your expense, but now they're finding out, looking in the mirror, this is a magician who has to come to terms with what they've done. Looking in the mirror, they realize that all of this energy they've been putting out there, it's been at their expense. They were so sure that it was only going to impact you. But in the process of doing this evil work, they now realize that they sold their soul. And that you're winning. They realized that all along they were blinded when they were signing these contracts. They were not moving in the right direction. This is card 6. Every single contract that they signed, everything that they agreed to do was for the preservation of their lower self. It was to preserve their ego. For some of you, this person is facing jail time, and they are deathly afraid of it. They just want to run away. This person is experiencing mental illness. If you look at his face, something doesn't look right. It's like he's looking off into the distance. He's not seeing what's there, and he's seeing only in his mind what isn't there. And that happens in the spirit realm, but this is not that. This is what they're seeing, what this person sees day in and day out, and at night as well, is what they have conjured up. So yes, they are seeing into the spirit realm, but it's forces that they have made very stupid contracts with. So even though they're seeing into the spirit realm, it is also, it's like psychosis, you know. It is mental illness. When you look into the spirit realm and you see divine beings, you may see beings from all dimensions, higher and lower, okay? But it's for the intention of healing. It's done with an intention of healing. What this person is seeing is the consequences that they have now reaped of signing so many contracts with so many demonic energies, that when they go to the astral, that's all they're experiencing, is what they've conjured up. They're not seeing angelic beings. They're not seeing anything that's now for their healing. It's just like this hodgepodge of demons that they can't get rid of. That's why it's mental illness. It's psychosis. Okay? And this is a storm warning. Also, this storm warning is card 10. It's over. It's done. 10 of Wands, 10 of Swords, it's over. Whatever 10 of Pentacles, whatever 10 of Cups they were trying to manifest, it's over. It now looks like this. Complete and total destruction is what this person has brought on themselves. It's what they've manifested for themselves. They were in the process of building. This looks like, what is it called? Is it the Parthenon? It's like in Greece. It looks sort of like this, I believe. I don't know if I said that right. The Parthenon, Pantheon, Parthenon, something like that. One of those famous ancient structures. But they were working on building something for a very long time. And they thought it was so wonderful. They thought it was going to go down in the history books. Yeah. They thought that the mountains, the waves, the storms that they were trying to create for you was creating a life for themselves where they could use you. They thought that they were benefiting from your misfortune, whatever misfortune it was that they tried to create for you. But they weren't counting on you becoming an alchemist, or they weren't counting on you being an alchemist. It's that you always were an alchemist. But this energy that they sent you helped you to tap into your gifts of alchemy on a much deeper, wider, and higher level. It's like you're fully expanded now. You'll continue to expand. You know, we never reach our, like, you haven't done all that you're going to do. There's still more. that you're going to accomplish and achieve. But you know your gifts now. You know the full scope of what you can do. 10-10 on the timer. Divine says you have done a beautiful job of transmuting this ugly energy that they gave you, this being. They worked with so many different people, so many demons. They thought they were so smooth working with their grimoires and looking at their YouTube videos on how to do spells. They thought with the amount of money that they invested in spell work that it was a sure thing. And now they're sitting here with all their failed magic, looking at themselves in the mirror and their failed attempts to bring you down. That's what they're left with. That and a whole bunch of debt. 1111. Because they spent way too much money trying to bury you, trying to dig a hole for you and your destiny. All they did was gave you multiple opportunities to practice your gifts. This isn't something that you looked forward to doing, but you did it because you had to do it in order to survive. Thank you, Spirit. What's coming through that needs to be known? What does this beautiful being need to know about this situation, about this? Yeah, there was so much evil gossip. Group chats, text messages. There's records of this stuff too. And some of this because with this contract card, the legal system is coming through. Some of this gossip that was done via phone, via email, is now being used against this person who conspired against you. It's being used against them as evidence. Also, they did something that created a paper trail where they were looking for information about people. At one time, this person held a position. It could have been involved with the legal system or with the government. But whatever position of power they had at the time, they don't have this anymore. They lost it because they misused their power. The power that they had, they were very stupid with it and they lost it. But they misused their power and they used their position to, I'm getting, accumulate records or information against you and other people as well. You are not this only person's, you are not this person's only victim. You are not the only person that this saboteur, I'm going to go ahead and call him a saboteur. The card hasn't come out, but they feel like a saboteur. You're not the only person that they have conspired against. They used horrendous gossip to create stories about you. They created a whole reputation about you. It didn't matter who you really are or were at the time that they were doing this. They created their own timeline. That's why they don't have a job anymore, is because they used all of their time to come up with stories about you. They thought that they were a warrior against you. They saw that there was no way that they would lose. But now they see that you are the only fit warrior in this situation. You're the only fit one. Because you chose to align with divine justice, divine truth, and your own sense of self-love. And they don't know what that is. Yeah. You are not only a servant, but also an artist. You create things that help others. You know that you win by assisting other people. And so that's what you've committed to do. And that's why you're winning. Because your intentions are pure. Okay, they're saying to pull from this deck. This is this has a lot to do with relationships and whatnot. So there could have been at one time a relationship here, or what I do know is that this person desperately wanted a relationship with you. I think that you turned them away. I think that you wanted nothing to do with them. From the very beginning, it feels like that. For some of you, you could have been involved with this person for a while, but I'm getting that for a lot of you, you never wanted anything to do with this person. They're just that psychotic that they went overboard when they realized that you wanted nothing to do with them. Well, let's see what comes through. Okay, this is like, let me out. Yeah, walls closing in. That's exactly how this person feels. There is no more space for denial, only for resolution. This person has to come to terms with the fact that, oh, and look at that, they're in jail. This person is completely already imprisoned energetically and spiritually by what they've done to you and to other people. But it feels like that is a very realistic event that's coming for them. That they will be physically imprisoned. That's going to be the case for a lot of you. These people that you've experienced, they're going to... Their luck is completely turned upside down. Look at that 777 in the reverse. Oh, gambling in the reverse. Even if you proceed with your uncertain plans, I'll always care about you. But I'm worried these risks might drive us apart. Let's find a secure path together. This person doesn't have a secure path. They wish that you would help them, but they know that you won't because it's not your place. It's not your job to help them. They know that you know that reaching out to help them would turn your luck upside down, and you're way too wise for that. What else, Spirit? Yeah, they've suffered a fatal blow. They feel like every choice that they make is dangerous. They don't have any positive options at this point because they've X'd every single possibility for a good outcome off of their list of anything that they can do. They've left themselves with no options. The doctrine of mutually assured destruction prevents conflict. Irreversible damage is in sight for this person, and facing the conflict head-on could have prevented total destruction. Look at that, 28. 2 and 8 is 10. It's over for this person. It's over. Even if they wanted your mercy, there's no more that you have for them to give. They've shown themselves unworthy of any additional chances with you. That's what I'm getting. Boiling point, yeah. So this person is definitely drinking a lot. There's a lot of volatility here. Pressure has been building for too long. This situation's one spark away from full-blown combustion. Yeah. They're in a very bad way. This person may at this point be in a place where they are no longer caring for themselves and their environment in a way that they should. They're not keeping up with their hygiene. They're not keeping up with cleaning their surroundings. I'm seeing infestations. There could be bed bugs, rats. And this is impacting their health. Like some sort of cord. This person is suffering from cord attachments that they've created in order to try to work with dark magic. But some sort of asthmatic reaction, okay? It's like, I'm not going to say that it's asthma, but there's something with their breathing that is difficult. It's difficult. They're not breathing easily. Their chest feels heavy. Also, there's something going on with the skin, some sort of a rash. It could be due to the infestations. This person could have recently had some sort of surgery. I'm getting Tijuana. Okay, so I've never been to Tijuana, okay, but I'm seeing like very, like some sort of dark alley surgery. Also a lot of drinking. That's also coming through there. Oh, 22 on the timer. This person is seeking balance, but they're not finding it. Some sort of back alley surgery. It feels like plastic surgery. It feels like injections that were done in a facility that is not, like I'm getting motel room type surgery. Okay. Back alley surgery. I'll come out to your car and do the procedure kind of stuff. Injections. And there have been complications with this. This is for some of you. This is very specific, but it's coming through. There have been complications, which is one reason for the drinking. Because imagine getting a procedure done like that and then having complications and some sort of infection and seeing that on the body and then being so like depressed about it. That's what's coming through. That's one reason for the drinking. Somebody's fighting or they're ready to fight. Burning bridges. This person has burned all their bridges. They don't have a person to call. They don't have someone to reach out to. Because everybody that at one time cared about them, they've gossiped about them. They haven't just gossiped about you. Remember, it came through that you're not the only person that this person has targeted. This person has targeted all of their flying monkeys. They've turned on all of them. They've used all of them against each other. And I'm getting that the flying monkeys, at least one or two, have become so curious about this person that they've done research and realized that this person has created a whole fake persona to try to convince people that they are still who they used to be. Because remember, it came through that they had a job in the judicial system or in the government or something that carried a little bit of prestige, at least, or some respect. That's long gone. But this person is using AI. They're using all sorts of lies to try to keep up with a reputation that's long gone. Long gone. They've done all of their flying monkeys wrong, which is why they've burned their bridges. 2555. Major changes in all of their connections. 2555. Major changes in their connections. Toxic ties. All of their flying monkeys see this person for the toxic demon that they are. They know that they were just tied to them because they wanted to use them. Also, they've suffered from this person's magic. I'm getting that this person has used so much chaos magic. And because of their controlling energetic ties, there have been pets that have fallen, crossed over. It wasn't their time. But I'm getting a very psychopathic energy where that's what this person does anyway. That's the energy that they work with. And if that's something that happened to you, that this person sent that energy to you to cause the loss of a familiar, okay, or a dear pet, that's how this person works. But their flying monkeys have felt that energy too. You see, every single thing that this person desired to happen to you and that they worked with their flying monkeys to have happen to you, everybody's gotten a taste of it. Everybody. They've all experienced it. And the sad thing is that, well, it's sad if you want it to be sad. If you think it's sad, doesn't have to be, okay? But the crazy thing is that they have created these ties to this chaotic energy out of their hatred and envy towards you. They did this to themselves. You've received good karma. And that's one reason why these people wanted to attach themselves to you, is because they knew you had good karma. They knew that you were, I'm getting happy-go-lucky. I mean, you may or may not describe yourself that way, or you may or may not see yourself that way. But these people saw your energy as very innocent, even naive. But what I'm getting is that you were watching them plot against you, and you were kind of like, you were side-eyeing them the whole time. Because you had real receipts. Even if it was your intuition, for you, your intuition is like a receipt. Whatever it is that you pick up on intuitively, because your connections with your spirits and with the divine, your connections are that strong and that legit. That for you, an intuitive nudge, a dream, a vision, a hunch is just like a damn receipt. You might as well have a receipt in your hands. Whether other people believe it or not, it's good as gold for you. But they wanted to attach themselves to you because they knew that you had good karma. But what they're learning now is that it don't work like that. And so now they're forced, with all their dark magic and the consequences of it, having to look in the mirror. The Magician and the Mirror. Isn't that something? This is a drama queen that you were dealing with, whether male or female. They're all about the drama. They're always a victim. The things that they had said that you had done to them, now people realize, that's another reason for that real receipts card. People realize that the lies that they believed before, now they feel really stupid for believing them. Because they see that this is just a drama queen. They see now that this person was willing to ruin their lives, but other people's as well. It was funny when they wanted to ruin your life. It was funny when they were all causing drama, stirring the pot, trying to create losses for you. It was funny when they were sitting back laughing at any health issues that you had at the time, or any misfortune that you were experiencing at the time. Oh, it was funny then. But now that they're experiencing it, now they're able to see this person as a drama queen. Someone's expecting. This feels like a revenge pregnancy. This feels like something that this drama queen may have done intentionally in order to get a hold of someone's mate. Tell us more about this, Spirit. Yeah, ex-drama. Because of this pregnancy situation, they have become an ex. Whoever it was that they got a hold of with this pregnancy drama, they are now an ex because of that. Because somebody didn't want that. They use this as a ploy just to get control of someone, to be able to control their energy. But whoever they partnered with to create this child, they did not want this child. They didn't want them. They didn't want to create a family with this person. They wanted them for an experience in the bedroom. Not for 18 years. Not for a lifetime. They weren't counting on all that. Yeah, so they've been canceled. This person has been fully canceled. That's why they have burned all their bridges, because they went too far. Now see, it was funny though to this group when this drama queen was going too far, planning against you. With all their flying monkeys. The flying monkeys were flying all around. Hee 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 hee, hoo 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 hoo. Okay, they were just laughing it up. But now that they have experienced this person's truth, which is all drama and trauma, because now they went and created a life with someone who never wanted that with them. Potentially with another person's mate. All of these people were supposed to be their loyal flying monkeys though. But then this drama queen went way too far, right? So now that the joke's on them, this person has been canceled. That's what it took for them to get canceled. Was for them to feel, for the flying monkeys to feel the drama that they brought to your doorstep. Okay. I mean, just so we're clear on what it took for people to see the truth. Status symbol. Someone's chasing symbols instead of substance and wondering why it still feels empty. Because you're where the gold always was. You were always the diamond. You were always the treasure. But somebody was going after where they thought. See, that's because this person, this drama queen at one time had a good job. They had access to what seemed like abundance, which actually was just a paycheck. There's a big difference between true abundance, 3444 on the timer, and a paycheck. Because a paycheck will last as long as the paycheck comes. With a paycheck, the abundance only lasts while the money is there. With true abundance, it doesn't matter what job you have. It doesn't matter what career path you choose. You will always flourish because you have an abundant energy. But somebody did not see that about you. They didn't see that you are truly abundant, that abundance flows through your veins. Your ancestors whisper ways to you in which you can continue to be abundant for the entirety of your life. You will always be abundant. But somebody was looking at a person's paycheck, and it was looking real nice at the time until they went and fumbled it because of their mental illness and their psychotic nature and their stalking behavior. Somebody chased the status. They chased it right into a pit. Right into a pit. And now they're sitting there numbing themselves out because they don't know what else to do. They all feel foolish. I'm getting all except for this drama queen. This drama queen knows that it's over. They feel desperate, but they still won't admit that they were foolish. Oh, but the flying monkeys, they know that they were fools. Well, where should we go from here, Spirit? What are the next steps that this beautiful being should take, Divine, on their path? What guidance do you have for this beautiful being? Yeah, keep your boundaries up. Maintain your courage. Because whatever courage you are demonstrating right now, I feel like for some of you it's creatively. Because, you know, wands, that's creative energy. It's your creativity, it's your passion that you're demonstrating. And whatever it is that you're creating, it's helping you to keep your boundaries exactly where they should be. Because your creations remind you of who you are and why you're here. Nose is itching. So that's the truth, okay? That's the truth. Yeah. Your faith has been tested. And you have proven yourself loyal to the divine and loyal to yourself. Which is all that your beautiful divine ancestors could ever ask for. You are the manifestation of what your ancestors hoped for. Here you are. And they want you to know that you have been initiated into a realm where only divine beings reside. You have proven yourself. Your faith was tested and you passed the test. In the face of conflict, so much conflict they were sending you. With words, with this hideous gossip about you, with stories that they were telling and passing around. Even when these flying monkeys had a hunch that this person was evil, they still went full force ahead, completely aligned with evil. It wasn't until they started to suffer at the hands of this lying deceiver that they stopped to think, should I stay on this path right here? Is this the right one? It wasn't until they started to suffer. It wasn't until things in their life that were important to them started to, and then that's the reason why this whole situation was so insane, was because you were dealing with people who had zero empathy. And this was all that they wanted to cause. And none of that was a problem until they started to lose in the situation. The thing is they were losing from get-go. They just didn't realize it. They weren't intuitive enough to realize that from day one of their decision to align with this deceiver, this demon, they were already losing. And that's why I say it's almost poetic that they thought they were working you, but you were sitting there watching them losing the whole time. Yeah, you've got the Ten of Pentacles. Why? Because you're aligned, and because this is what you've been focusing on. Even with all these petty distractions around you, of people who are driven by a paycheck, forget about fulfillment of the heart, fulfillment of the soul, forget about the divine, forget about soul alignment, forget about growth and accountability, just forget all of that. Let's just go with the purse. Who's got the biggest paycheck? Okay. Well, now they know that that was the wrong choice. Now they figured it out. But you got Ten of Pentacles. And this is something that some people didn't see coming. And now that they see it manifesting for you, you look better to them than ever. But see, their faith was tested too. And they did not pass the test. Because when they were wondering what your destiny was going to look like, they doubted you. And I'm getting that at some points on this journey, you were the only one who was believing in you. But you did. And that's why you're reaping the bounty of that harvest. That's why things are coming to you that you never even thought would come to you. Because you know why? Because you weren't focused on that. You were just focused on healing. You were focused on being the best being that you could be. And when you do that, when you mind your business, divine rewards you in ways that you could never imagine. This is stability. This is a fruitful harvest. This is security, financial security. This is safety. You know, perhaps you didn't feel safe in your environment. Well, you can feel safe now. Some of you are about to move to another location where, you know, perhaps if you were in a neighborhood where there was a lot of crime, or perhaps you were just around people that gave you the heebie-jeebies because their energy was so effed up, so ugly, so disgusting, so all about them and nobody else. You don't have to be in that anymore. You're moving out of the weeds into a bountiful forest. Where you can forage berries all day. Okay? You can nap in the shade. You can do whatever you want to do because you have freedom. Because the Ten of Pentacles gives you freedom. Stability is freedom. Security is freedom. Because when our root chakra is secure and balanced, then we can feel good. When we feel good, we know that we are good. And then we can begin to do other things that make us happy. We can create. And we can connect. 4444 on the timer. If you doubted your security in this world, you don't have to doubt it anymore because you've earned it. And nobody can take that away from you. Perhaps if it had been handed to you, it would be questionable, but this is something that you built from the ground up. Your 10 of Pentacles. This is no joke. Ashe. Thank you, Divine. Okay. They're saying Sword of Light. Let's close with the Sword of Light. Thank you, Archangel Michael. Open your heart. No one is perfect. Stop judging yourself and let love heal this situation. If there's anything that you are judging yourself for as far as how you handle something, release that. 45 on the timer. Yeah, that's 99. 45 There's an ending to judging yourself. Okay? You are a beautiful being who takes accountability for your actions, so you don't need to constantly take yourself through the ringer. Did I do this right? Did I do that right? Am I doing this right? You're going to be more secure within yourself as well. This 10 of Pentacles is not just about your money and your physical security, your surroundings. It's also about your confidence within yourself. It's about your security in who you are and in the choices that you make. You're grounded. Thank you, Spirit. So I'm saying pull this one right here. What is this? Ooh, extravagant. Venus in the second house, Taurus, I have. That goes right along with 10 of Pentacles. Look, I like these here together. You're about to have things that you never even realized that you might have one day. And it's not about excess, but it's about enjoying what you have. You know? Let's say if you need a new car, maybe you'll get a car that has seat warmers. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's not about living in excess. It's just about having things that you enjoy. You know? And you can be fancy. You know, like, I don't want to make anybody feel bad if you want to have something that's extravagant. I don't like to waste and, you know, spend money on things that, I mean, I'm a Capricorn moon too, though, so I got that practicality about me. But having nice things, that nurtures you. You know, 47 on the timer. Maybe if you're doing a bathroom remodel, you were going to get a regular size tub. Maybe you'll get a big size tub, a soaking tub. So you can take nice long baths. I love my long baths. I love my jacuzzi. Okay? I don't play with that. So there's something about it, something extra that you're going to have. Maybe you'll do some extra trips. Take some extra vacations. I'm definitely getting that. Extra travel. Perhaps you were going to go somewhere within the country for your next vacation. Maybe you'll go worldwide. Maybe you need to get that passport ready, if it's not already ready. Thank you, Spirit. Don't settle for less. And this is card 10, like 10 of Pentacles. You are a child of the divine. Let me let you see that first. You see that look on her face? That's how you're going to look moving forward when you see your blessings. I'm telling you. Don't settle for less. You are a child of the divine, beautiful being. And you deserve to have your dreams come true. Don't give up. Don't you dare give up. Because I'm already seeing that, like, this treasure box. You see that? And then the butterflies are flying out. That's your future. That's your future. So stay tuned and stay focused. And stay ready to receive all of those blessings because you have earned it. You've been through a lot. But you've learned so much and you have transformed. You've allowed what you've gone through to transform you. And divine is blessing you for that. For sure. I'm so excited for you. All right, beautiful being. I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful that you tuned into this message. I hope that it brought you clarity and insight and good vibes. And I appreciate you so much. And I love you. And I wish you peace. I wish you joy. And so many blessings. Take care.